Hello and welcome to day one from Greenland. We are in a brand new country and this is so remote. We are in a place called Kangerlussuaq. Arrived yesterday. I didn't vlog much yesterday because I wanted to start here on the first full day exploring the area. And I want to share with you a lot about where we're going in Greenland and specifically a little bit more information about what you can do around these locations, because I found that the vlog series that I did last time in Iceland, as entertaining as it was, and I know a lot of you guys watching this saw those videos and loved the photos, so thank you for sharing those comments and thoughts on those videos. But this one, I want to go back to kind of the classic YouTube style of providing a bit more educational entertainment, as Gavin Hardcastle would say, edutainment. And yeah, it all starts right now in Kangerlussuaq, the beginning of this video, day one. Let's go. And welcome back to our first hike here and our first full day in Greenland. Hope you enjoyed some of that footage from the arrival. We took a flight from Copenhagen, Denmark, straight here to Kangerlussuaq, a direct flight, 4 hours, which really isn't too bad at all, and landed here yesterday. We were the group able to sort of settle in. We're staying at a hostel because the accommodation is kind of few and far between here, including the food services. This is a very remote part of Greenland, and we're staying here for 2 full days, today and tomorrow, and 3 nights. And I want to share with you in this video where we're going, what we're doing around Kangerlussuaq, to give you a better idea of what it's like on photography workshops to try and scout these locations and find, unique photos, because we're able to create a lot of really great travel and landscape and wildlife photos on location within a short period of time. And I want to dig more into the detail of how that's done. And a lot of it is like scouting and exploring, and part of that is today. So we're going up to the top of Sugarloaf mountain, which is just up here. You can see it there in the background. It's only 400 meters above sea level, but it's high enough that I think we're gonna get some really, really epic views of this area. As you can see, it's very overcast. So we're doing it during the day so that we can create a bit more time to shoot a different location at sunset. But I'll tell you more about Sugarloaf and what we're going to be covering in the rest of this video when we get to the top. Alright, and we've made it to the summit of the Sugarloaf mountain, or sort of hill, just outside of Kangerlussuaq. That is the top there behind me, but I've come down because it is super windy, trying to get some shelter behind this this derelict building here behind us. And it is beautiful up here. The views are incredible, as you've seen from the b-roll, and it is really a short hike from town. It's 7 kilometers from Kangerlussuaq along the main road that goes towards the glacier and the ice shelf, which is one of the reasons why this town is so popular. It's relatively easy access to get to the Greenland ice shelf, where a lot of people do research and scientific glaciology here, which is quite cool. But this at Sugarloaf is kind of like a day trip, if you will. I mean, being only 7 kilometers from the town, you could do the round trip in 15K, which would be a pretty good day. Or like you could be like us, where we got a ride from town to the base of the hill here, and then we've hiked up, and now we're going to hike all the way back to town together along the river. So that'll probably be a couple hours of hiking back down, but we were able to get a ride here, saving us that time, which is nice. And yeah, here it is, beautiful top of the Sugarloaf, and definitely a great thing to check out when in Kangerlussuaq. But stay with us, because we're hoping that we're going to go to a lake for sunset, which I think will look really, really cool. Just saw our first muskox of the trip. They are off on the hillside, sort of behind this river back there, and there are 5 of them, 2 adults and 3 babies, which is very cool to see as we head down from Sugarloaf And this is a little bit of wild trekking in a way. Like, we were on the trail to go up to the top of the small mountain, and then coming down, we followed a ridgeline to another sort of higher lookout point, and then we're heading down towards these two lakes and these beautiful like cabin down there, which is very photogenic. You can just see the white roof of it there. But yeah, the idea is that we'll hike towards the cabin and then back along the river and the road all the way to Kangerlussuaq.
Professional hikers.
This is the 32nd time I've changed the shoelace. Never will I buy Adidas ever again.
All right, and 7 kilometers later, we are back in town, and that was a bit of a long walk on the road coming back. We got caught in a rain storm, kind of. It was pretty windy and a bit rainy, so that's not all that fun. But from what I've been told by some of the locals, including Hella, the guy who drove us to the base of the hike, he said that it's pretty dry here most of the year, and yeah, it kind of makes sense given the giant ice sheet that's really close here to town. And Kangerlussuaq is at one of, I think it's at the end of the longest fjord in the world. So correct me if I'm wrong, but very interesting fact about this place. Now there's 500 people that live here, a little less in the winter, but there's over 100 kids, which is really cool. So there's a kindergarten, I think a couple, and an elementary school. And then once the kids are old enough to go to high school, they usually would go to Sessimut, which is along the coast. That's where we're going next video, or to Nuuk, which is the capital. And then yeah, Hella was saying, and the receptionist at the youth hostel where we're staying was also saying that a lot of the kids will then go to Denmark for maybe a year or university or whatnot, and then eventually something like 90% of Greenlanders that go abroad end up coming home. So I think the pull of the landscape here and the family ties has a very strong effect on the locals. So that's good to know. And here in Kangerlussuaq, there really isn't much of anything. We're at the airport now, and there's an airport hotel here, which is relatively expensive, and that's why we're staying at the youth hostel. And it was also full for one of the 3 nights that we're here, so we couldn't actually even book it. But they have a really nice restaurant at the hotel here at the airport, and then there's also a canteen, which is part of the airport, and that is the hidden gem of this video. The best food we've tried since we arrived is at this canteen, and it seems like it's one of the only places to eat in Kangerlussuaq. So if you made it this far in this video, you're still listening to me ramble on, the best food to eat is at the canteen at the airport. All right, good morning from the next day. This is our second full day here in Greenland, just outside of Kangerlussuaq. And this is Russell Glacier. What an amazing location. It's about 20 plus kilometers along the road heading towards the ice shelf. And most of the tourists and the travelers, from what we've been told, do day trips towards the ice shelf, which is what I was expecting we would be doing today. And our drivers had sort of another idea in mind. And Brendan and I obviously are always open to adventures and exploring. And they were suggesting that maybe we come here instead. It's kind of a different corner of the ice shelf, and there'll be a lot less people, which there are. There's 0 people here except for us. And man, am I glad we did. Taking the drone up in the air as the 2 Land Cruisers were coming towards the end of the road here. It's just amazing footage. And now look at where we are. This place is absolutely fantastic. There's a waterfall here. We've got about 2.5, 3 hours to explore the area all by ourselves, just the group and our 2 drivers. And it is a drone paradise. So let's get it back up in the air and show you what this glacier looks like from the sky. Down at the glacier with the waterfall here in the background, and that drone footage is something else, hey? I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did filming it. Such a unique and a wonderful place to film the drone. So yeah, very, very cool and fun for sure. So I've got the drone down now safely, and it's time to get some photographs because I have only already stolen 1 composition from Brendan, but I need to get something that's unique and my own. So I've come down here with the 17 to 40 wide angle in a vertical composition to shoot a 6-shot pano, starting from the waterfall, moving across the face of the glacier with the ice cave here in the background, and then just kind of tailing off into the distance. And I think it should stitch out pretty well in Photoshop. Very easy to do. Just kind of use your rule of thirds grid on the back of your camera, lining up every 1/3 corner every time you go across, either in the top corner or the back corner, and that way you know that they're going to overlap by one of those thirds, making it a lot easier for the software to stitch it together. And then I also level my camera every time, make sure my exposure is good. 6 shots, done.
Oh, let's go find a muskox.
Let's go. Sand skiing with the Land Cruiser. Woo-hoo-hoo!
I think the view is awesome. I think that we wish we had Muskox closer, because I'm gonna need these beasts to see the beasts.
Rhinos! Thank you so much, man. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Me too. It's a good day. I like it.
Yeah,
So,
the drone was amazing.
yeah. Have a good day.
Thanks, man.
All right, and we are back from the Glacier, and I want to give a big shout out and thank you to Evald today and Bjorn as well, and Hella from yesterday. Having the local contacts has been a huge help for us to be able to get some transport to these places, to be able to share it with you here in video, and of course for the photography participants, myself and Brendan trying to get out there and create photos in a new destination, a place where we've never been, and really quite a remote part of Greenland for our first stop. So that is some Kangerlussuaq for you guys, as I tried to learn how to pronounce it from Evald today, and what an awesome journey it was to the Glacier. So I hope you really enjoyed the second half of this video, because it's been a blast to make. And if you are coming to Kangerlussuaq, be sure to try and book your accommodation ahead of time, because it has been relatively difficult. We found that a lot of these places are fully booked, especially in the summer months like June, July, August. And I do also think that end of August, September is probably the best time of year to be here. We've had no problems with like mosquitoes or bugs or anything. And there has been, you know, really good opportunities to get out into the nature and see some of the sights around town. So yeah, it's a interesting place, definitely worth checking out for a couple days, or if you're coming here to start the Arctic Trail or finishing the Arctic Trail, it is the kind of a hub for that. And there's an airport here, which I'm walking beside right now. So yeah, good place and good start to this Greenland series. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and stay with us, because the next video we're heading to the coast, 160 kilometers west, directly west to Sisimiut, and that is where we're going to start the next video. I'll see you there. Bye.